So it's 4:01. We know that people will be coming in and out of the session, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And thank you all for taking the time to join us and celebrate our colleagues, celebrate each other, celebrate the end of the academic year. I mean, what a crazy year this has been, just completely incredible. But thank you for being here. Those of you that joined us a few minutes earlier saw a PowerPoint that we were cycling through that honored our retirees, Robert and Beth. Also honored the folks who have earned tenure and promotion this spring, and we congratulate everybody on that achievement. And we're also taking a moment today to thank and celebrate Paul Eisenstein for his, I believe it's 11 years of service as Dean of Arts and Sciences as he steps back into the faculty over the summer. So that's kind of the agenda today. I would like to remind everybody to mute your mics while we're in this room together while we do some presentations, just so that we can hear everybody. And I think we'll do this, you already know what I'm gonna say. We'll open up the chat. If you don't know how to open up the chat, you want to look at that little purple arrow that's in the bottom right-hand corner of the Blackboard course, and you can type comments into chat, and we'll watch the comments fly by as we do this recognition today. So, all right, what else am I supposed to tell you? I've got my notes from Christy North here. Oh, yeah, so we'll put our comments in the chat box. And then once we've finished with the main part of the remarks and presentations, we have some breakout rooms. And so I will give you instructions for how to move into the breakout rooms so that you can then go ahead and turn your mics on and talk to each other, just like we would if we were in person. You could go into the different rooms and talk to each other. Christy North, I'm just going to ask you to jump in if there's anything I've forgotten about the instructions here.
Not at all. We are just so glad that everyone is able to join, and I'm sorry for the confusion of the link email, but I think got what, 74 people here now, so we are so excited to celebrate.
Looking good. Okay, very good. All right, so we're gonna just jump right in and congratulate our first retiree, Dr. Robert Kraft from the psychology department, with an amazing 34 years of service at Otterbein. Dr. Kraft, your colleagues have prepared a video tribute for you, and so I'm not sure if it's Christy or Colin, but somebody's going to share the video. And like I said, yeah, Kraft, Willie says it best here. Put your comments in the chat box, and then when we're finished, Robert, I will invite you to say anything you want to say to the group. So let's roll the video.
Hey, Kraft. Well, here we are. All year you've been trying to avoid talking about it, but the day has officially arrived where we recognize and celebrate your retirement from Otterbein. Congratulations.
Thank you for gathering us together and fostering a departmental culture that feels so much more like a family than it does like an organizational unit. Thank you for demonstrating and modeling what it is to be an excellent teacher, an excellent scholar, and someone committed to university leadership. Thank you for all of the hours and years that you have taken and dedicated in your life to making our department what it is.
Kraft, congratulations on your retirement. I hope that you're looking forward to doing more of the things that you love, whether that's gardening or cooking or writing, or hopefully soon traveling to see your family. I'm also really glad that we'll get to see you again next year. It would be hard to look forward to the fall without anticipating getting to experience yet again your, at times, seemingly impossible blend of sarcasm and positivity. You've been an inspiration, and I wish you the best. Congratulations again.
I want to thank you and congratulate you for your unwavering standard of excellence and for the intellectual vitality you brought to the department. It was your astute judgment, first as departmental chair and then as departmental elder, that created the vibrant workplace we are all so lucky to be a part of. We thank you and we will miss you.
But words just can't capture all the memories that I will have of you, and I certainly don't have time in this video to get them all in, but certainly I wish you the best of everything. Excuse my rambling, but I think my rambling will be in the service of you remembering me. Have a great life after this.
Hi, Robert. Congratulations. I'm happy for you, but I am sad for me. You're integral to how I think about Otterbein University. You're the architect of this amazing department that I belong to. You hired me 23 years ago, and since that time, you have been my role model and mentor, a great colleague, and a good friend. I've always really admired the degree to which you dedicate yourself to the highest quality in whatever it is you do, whether it be your teaching or your research or your participation in the college community. Your high standards have made it a better place for all of us. But don't worry, we're going to take good care of the department. Now is the time for you to concentrate on good food, good wine, good friends, and your family. I hope that you enjoy this next adventure in your life. Congratulations again.
Just I hope you realize how very special you are and just what an impact you've had in people's lives. So,
Robert, you know I consider you my brother from another mother, older brother to be sure, but also the smarter and wittier and more stylish and more accomplished and wiser one. I think anyone who knows Roberts has to realize that he's a one-of-a-kind, original, the kind of person who enriches your life by their mere presence, even though they drive you crazy in the process too. I think the Otterbein students and faculty and the whole community has benefited from Robert's expertise and humor and wisdom for a long time. We won't see the likes of him again. So good luck in retirement, Robert. You know I love you, and the next coffee is on you.
All right, so thank you to everyone who helped put that together, and it is my honor and privilege to ask us all to raise a glass to Robert. So you were supposed to BYOB here, and I am pleased to yeah, to say, oh, look at that, Willie, that's great. Congratulations, Robert. Cheers to you.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers, mate.
All right, while we are sort of gathering ourselves, Robert, I'm going to tell you my Robert Kraft story. I bet you don't even know that I have a Robert Kraft story, but way back in 2012, when Steven Pinker came to campus, I just come from, this is my background as a science ed person. I teach my students always as a science educator to be skeptical of our culture that tends to treat scientists as heroes and to just automatically grant them expertise beyond what they are actually experts in. And that we can say the same thing about sports stars and billionaires and other things in our society. But I tend to be skeptical of anyone like Pinker, fairly or unfairly. And so I remember going to the lecture thinking, okay, are we going to is this going to be about hero worship? And then Robert Kraft raises his hand and starts in asking some pretty hard-hitting questions of Dr. Pinker. And I was very proud at that moment to be a member of the Otterbein faculty, and I will always remember that moment. So I just wanted to share my Kraft story for you. And now I will invite you, if you want to say a few words. You don't have to, but we always invite the retirees to speak to the group if you so wish.
Can you hear me? Wendy, wave. I don't think I've ever
We hear you.
denied myself. I've never denied myself a chance to talk.
Fair.
I don't think I'm long-winded, except maybe when running. By the way, Pinker and we had dinner together, and there was more of that exchange. That was a fun event. I didn't prepare remarks. I planned to be spontaneous. Uh, I did say uh, that all meaningful interactions have already happened naturally in the last 30 plus years, but I was wrong. I thank the Department of Psychology for putting together that moving video, and I'm glad it was balanced, not only my virtues, but some of my ways that I irritate. So thank you for that. The psychology department is a family. I feel that way. We've seen each other through times of darkness and light, and we've treated each other with tenderness and humor, and fortunately for me, forgiveness. I know it's probably not a good idea to mention names and name names, but I'm going to, because at this point, doing something that's not a good idea, it doesn't have too many consequences. Quickly, though, I wanted to thank Meredith Meyer for somehow combining deep rigor with friendliness and welcoming and strong teaching that's going to, and research that's going to bring our students along for the next at least 30 years. Meredith Fry, who has served as acting chair uh, during times of crisis, and she still is, and she served with poise and grace, and as far as I can tell, infinite energy. She's said that she's been tired, but well, for me, I just say this, that anybody under 50 always looks well rested and clear-eyed, clear-skinned, and refreshed. Actually, I have the opposite problem. People will come up to me and say, Kraft, didn't you sleep well? You're looking tired. And I go, no, I slept great. This is just the way I look. So thank you, Meredith Fry. Dr. Hatter Fisher, why did I say doctor? Denise Hatter Fisher, who's known me the longest in the department and has put up with me the longest. And there are so many instances where Denise has insightfully made some gesture or comment to defuse the tension during my earlier insensitive younger years. Thank you, Denise. Cindy, uh, a lot of that goes for you as well. Cindy has known me 1 year fewer than Denise and has put up with me and has just shown so much grace and accomplishment, uh, not just with chairing the honors program, but with supervising more honors theses than anybody I know, but in terms of just having faith in my ability to change and become more human. Thank you, Cindy. Michelle Acker, who keeps our department connected through many gestures and words, small and large and in between, uh, and who thrives in this connectedness, even when she's going through uh, deep problems or difficulties of her own. I just want to mention one instance. She stayed up with me and talked to me all night during a particular time of difficulty. And I will never forget that, since I value sleep so much. I thought that was a tremendously generous act. And Noam Sponsor, one event, uh, the day Virginia, died, I called Noam. He came over right away before the funeral home people, and he took me for a walk to Inniswood and asked me questions like, uh, how did you meet? Uh, when did you fall in love? What attracted you to each other? So what he did was he took me away from this tormented present into a happy past. And as we walked, I felt better and better. And that's another gift that I will never be able to thank Noam fully for, but at least I'll mention it here. Um, a few names, and also Kelly, uh, who's our departmental administrator. I'll talk to her privately, or maybe with a group. Other people who have this distinct Otterbein blend, and I'm almost done, of humanity and intelligence. I think John Kengla exemplifies that. Paul Eisenstein, of course, and I'm going to mention Patty Frick and our other honoree, Beth Doherty, people who have given me time, given me support during political times, John Tanzi, who gave me advice, counseled me, and was also forgiving, Nicholas Hill, Jeff Smith, for being Jeff Smith, and just a quick word, Norm Chaney, who I spoke to frequently for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, maybe 3 times a week, because we taught at the same time on the same floor in Towers, and somehow during those uh, frequent brief encounters, we managed to communicate a lot over the years. So for those of you who I've forgotten, I am asking your forgiveness. I'm going to move on. I just want to say that the end of the story is not the story, that there are many middles. And I thank all of you who have supported me, countered me, made me laugh, put up with me for all those many middles. And at least for this part of the session, most importantly, I'm getting the last word. Thank you.
Fitting, beautiful, really appreciated. And I'm glad that you mentioned Norm Chaney, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge his incredible 50-year service to Otterbein, and I know that there will be a moment for us to recognize that. I hope that you got a chance to see the comments scrolling on the chat, and if not, we recorded this and you can still go back and see the comments because they were rolling in for you, and I really well deserved.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but a couple of these comments reminded me of names I forgot to mention, so my apologies.
Okay. All right. Okay, then, just in the interest of keeping us on track for time, let's move on and honor our second retiree, Beth Doherty from the English department, with an equally amazing and maybe even more so 36 years of service to Otterbein. Very much in the same vein that we just saw, Beth's colleagues put together a video for her. And so Colin, if you could share that, or Christy or Catherine, whoever's going to do that, if we could watch the video for Beth.
Thank you for years of wisdom, encouragement, enthusiasm, mentoring, solidarity, feminist, shoulder to shoulder guidance. I don't have words for how grateful I am.
Hey, Dr. D, I just want to say thank you for everything that you taught me and everything that you did for me. I wouldn't be where I am without you. Enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Beth. Patty here. I wanted to wish you congratulations on your retirement. I can't imagine a weirder term on which to end such a distinguished career. But with your usual style and optimism and grace, you've done it very well and have given a lot of hope to us as we look to the future. So I thank you for that.
I'll have you know, Beth Doherty, that I put on pants for this. You're welcome. As you've probably learned already from the number of videos that have been sent in, all reflecting on individuals' times with you and your wonderful role as a teacher, mentor, friend to numerous individuals. You are well loved and well respected, and we will very much miss seeing your face in the classroom.
Hey Beth, or Dr. D, as the students love to call you. Thank you for all of your wonderful work and your contributions to Otterbein. You have made our department, our community, a better place.
Hi, Dr. D. I just want to take a minute to say thank you. You had a huge impact on my time at Otterbein. My first class at Otterbein was Appalachian literature with you, and one of my last classes was Wolf with you and my wolf pack, and both of those classes have left a permanent mark on me, and I still think of them fondly often, and that is in great deal thanks to you. So I hope you enjoy retirement, and I look forward to us all getting to catch up once we can gather.
Hello, Dr. D. It's Stephanie Collart wishing you a happy retirement. Wanted to let you know that I really appreciate everything you did for me in college and how you really helped me get through. I probably would not have been able to graduate if it wasn't for you as my advisor, my professor, and my Wolfpack leader. I hope that in retirement you can read lots of wonderful books, and I really look forward to hearing from you again. I really appreciate everything you've done, and I want you to know that we appreciate you back. Wolfpack forever.
Over 15 years, you have been an incredibly generous and supportive and humane colleague. I've learned a lot from you about teaching. I've appreciated your interest and enthusiasm for my research work, and I will really miss our shared love of British literature and travel to London and the British Library. There are a lot of things I'm going to miss about you, Beth. I'm going to miss your wisdom about all things Otterbein. I'm going to miss your graciousness in meetings and around the suite. I'm going to miss your sense of humor and your smile. But I just want to say congratulations for such a distinguished and accomplished career. You are beloved by colleagues, by students, by alumni. We are all going to miss you so much. Thank you, Beth.
Beth, congratulations on your retirement. In 30 seconds or less, I'm to say what your impact has been on Otterbein, what I will remember. Not an easy task. The things I want to pay tribute to honor, the things I will carry with me. First, your love of reading, love of books, your belief in their power to help us understand our world and bridge differences. And of course, your love for students and a steadfast commitment to helping them find their voice. I think that's just it, that a voice isn't given. It has to be found, and it takes work to find it. And you've been the person that have helped so many students find theirs. You've made a lasting impact on Otterbein and its students. I wish you the best in your retirement.
My name is Victoria Mullins, class of 2009. I am so fortunate to have had Beth Doherty as a professor at Otterbein, and I'm glad that I can call her my friend. Beth was my advisor for my senior capstone project. Her guidance broadened my perspectives, and she taught me not to fear critiquing my own thought processes in writing. My favorite memory of Beth is when we learned that we both hail from the same small town in Southeast Ohio, Quaker City. I think we laughed for a good 5 minutes about that, and anyone familiar with that town can understand why. I miss chatting with you, Beth, and I hope our paths will cross again. Congratulations on your retirement. I wish you all the best.
Again, thank you to everyone who helped put the video together, an amazing tribute for an amazing person. And it is once again my honor and privilege to ask you to raise a glass in tribute to Beth Doherty. Congratulations, Beth. Toast to you. Cheers.
Hear, hear.
And Beth, I'm just going to say a couple things before I open the floor to you. I have to personally thank you. I think one of your students said it best, teacher, mentor, friend. You have been an amazing sounding board for me. I'm going to tear up, Beth, I'm sorry. A fount of institutional knowledge. You heard this from many other people. Such a cheerleader. Even this morning, Beth was sending us happy videos to celebrate things. Such a positive attitude, and always, always, always oriented to the students and your commitment to Otterbein students and especially their common experience. I am hopeful and expectant that we will still have breakfast together at Delaney's, and I will happily buy, and that we will see each other in Clintonville, and that we will have many more occasions to talk native plants and whatever else we're going to discuss about gardening. So I will stop and let you say whatever you want to say, Dr. D.
Oh dear. I'm not quite sure what to say. I did Well, getting ready to leave a beloved institution makes you think a lot about the people who guided you. And so I want to mention Sylvia Vance and Allison Prindle, Marty Savison, Jim Bailey, Norm Chaney, of course, Jim Gorman, Bob Gaddy, Becky Smith, Joanne Stickway, Larry Cox. So many people helped me as I began my career at Otterbein. And a couple of things, I guess. I wrote this to Andrew this morning. There's a piece in E.M. Forster's essay called What I Believe about how dark things get when the people who use force try to take over. And that what we have to remember is that there is, in his words, an aristocracy of the sensitive, the considerate, and the plucky. And that's what I think about Otterbein. And that there's a secret understanding amongst such people when they meet. And there's a solid procession of them through history. And they get us through dark days and they rebuild after those dark days. And I know that's what's going to happen at Otterbein. And then I think, I don't know why it's E.M. Forster so much, but the other words of his that I thought of, why am I not quoting Virginia Woolf? I have no idea. But his words only connect. When things get tough, it's hard not to look out for yourself and to try to get what's yours in a decreasing pie, especially economic pies. But somehow, if we connect and turn competitions into collaborations and cooperation, we're all a lot better off and we make it through. So again, that's what I think Otterbein means, and I think that's what Otterbein will do. Thank you all so much for everything. I'm with Robert in terms of his department, but there's so much, there's such a larger family at Otterbein. The department is nurturing to its colleagues and to its students, and there's a ripple effect. There's just a ripple effect. So enjoy the next years, carry it on, and as I said to Andrew, pay it forward, keep paying it forward. Okay, everyone, thank you.
Thank you, Beth. I can't think of a more fitting voice for this time, so I really appreciate that. Okay, so we will now spend a few moments honoring, recognizing Dr. Paul Eisenstein, who has, I want to say, Paul bravely served as the Dean of Arts and Sciences for over a decade now, even though he said when we hired him that it would be 5 years and he'd be finished with this job. We kept convincing him to stay just a little bit longer. Just one more year, Paul, just one more year. We also, your colleagues prepared a video for you, and this is a little bit of a twist. We find ourselves in meetings all the time together in Dean's Council, And so occasionally, if Paul's not there, we might be chatting about what we're going to miss about Paul or what he means to us. And so you'll see a little recording of one of our Dean's Council sessions where we're kind of going back and forth talking about Paul and talking to Paul. But we'll go ahead and roll the video.
Hi, Paul. Well, it looks like our time is coming to a close. You told me several years ago when we started this job in 2009 that you would not be doing it forever. So here we are, 11 years later, and we've been through a lot. We've had our family's situations, great highs, great lows. We've had a lot of laughs. We've had a lot of challenges come our way, but we prevailed. We've done a lot of great work and much attributed to your leadership and support. So I want to say thank you. It's been a great journey, and I'm glad you're only going down to the second floor of Towers because I hope to see you often. Best of luck to you, and again, thank you so much.
I wanted to thank you for your time here with me. It's only been 5 years compared to some of these other people, but it's been very good.
Your guidance and thoughtful answers to all of my questions has always been very appreciated. I'm very thankful for the time that you take to write things out and explain things to me. I thoroughly appreciate that, and it's going to be very, very hard to think of you or to not have you sitting in on our discussions. It'll just be very, very weird, but I certainly hope you enjoy your time back in the English department, and we'll be certainly seeing you around campus. Take care. Thanks.
I appreciate his just thoughtfulness, like he really thinks through everything in a really I keep using the word thoughtful, that's not the right word, but just really, he does not make decisions lightly. He really thinks through in very, both pragmatic, but also humane in other ways.
That comes out, I think, as Paul's number one characteristic is being able to see multiple sides of an issue. You're calling it thoughtfulness. I'm calling it, like really digging in and being empathetic and trying to understand an issue from every which way. And that I appreciate that too. I totally agree with you. I think I also appreciate, Paul's moral compass is always pointing in the right direction. I think what is best for the organization, what is best for the collective, what is best, how is this decision going to impact us down the road? And I appreciate that he always brings us back and centers us in that way. His deep wisdom and judgment coming from his lengthy experience, both as a chair, as a faculty member, a chair, and then as a dean. Yeah, we draw upon that all the time.
So he's a good sounding board for me, and whether it's kind of big issues or even if it's just dealing with small individual cases of things, like I know.
Hi, Paul. I'm sure you're not surprised, but I'm late to this party, like I am frequently, and you've kind of gotten used to on Dean's Council. But I do want to say how much I've enjoyed working with you over the years. You've taught me a lot. I've certainly come to rely on your opinion and your judgment. I think we've had some really good times and then some harder times, but for the most part have enjoyed our time together. I've learned a lot about you. I've learned what a great writer you are, but no surprise being an English major. But I've also learned how to read you a little bit better, let's say. We've talked about times when you get I can tell when you're a little exasperated with the conversation, or maybe with even my own comments, because I see a lot of this going on. You recover, come back up to the conversation, and then I know when we've really lost you, because it's not just one of these, but it's one of these. Looking down at those shoes to make sure we all know that we're kind of a little bit beyond you, but or beyond what you want to participate in. So it's going to be different not having you around the table. Please know that I will be coming back to you for advice, how to manage this. Hey, do you remember what went on? We've talked from time to time, and you've been very tolerant of my tendencies to have to act at times. We've talked about when I go into ICU nurse mode, and that I'm just tired of the conversation, and how tolerant you've been of that, and I do appreciate it. Your wisdom will be missed, but we know where to find you. And I do hope you enjoy being back to your passion in English, to your co-workers in English, and I know we will work together again. Wishing you the best, and we'll know you will succeed as one of the best instructors here at Otterbein. Thank you for the years of service.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, Paul.
I'm going to miss Paul a
Won't
lot.
be the same without you at the table.
Keep myself from calling him.
Describe how that really does capture our little group in Dean's Council and in the Arts and Sciences office. Thank you, Kathy. It is my honor and privilege now to ask us to raise a glass in honor of Paul Eisenstein and to congratulate Paul on his stellar service to Otterbein. So cheers to Paul.
Cheers, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Paul, I don't know what more I can say that I didn't, well, I have plenty of things to say, but just know that I am really grateful to you for everything that you have done to keep us grounded, keep us centered, to just serve as an amazing colleague. And we are really going to miss you. And I am so excited for you to get a break. And just watching the comments on the chat, you are going to a wonderful home with really great colleagues. So I am happy for you. And I invite you to say whatever you would like to share.
Well, welcome back, Otter. I guess I have to look forward to that video. I appreciate that. I think really at this point I can really express gratitude to you, Wendy, to Catherine, Barb, people like Gretchen Sasfi, Christy North, Marla Garcia, Kathy Ullum especially. When I see you all in person again, I will speak with you about the debt of gratitude I owe to you. Who else do I need to thank? I need to thank the department chairs in the School of Arts and Sciences. We haven't always had the easiest of tasks, and sometimes I've had to ask you to do things that, or consider things that maybe weren't the best things to ask you to consider, but I really appreciate your work. And then finally, I think I want to thank faculty. I think one of the things that's been a real pleasure about this job is just getting to know certain people that I otherwise would never have really gotten to know, like the kind of teaching and research and service. There are a number of people who I used to pass or I knew in passing, and I feel like I really got to know you over the last 10 or 11 years, and the chance to meet new faculty, the people that we hired. I think that's something I will definitely carry with me, you know, as I go back to teaching. I want to say one word or two about Beth and Robert, because you know, by an odd coincidence, I'm connected to both of these two people. You know, I think when I was the chair of the English department, there used to be an old file cabinet that would get moved from chair to chair. It actually started when Norman Chaney was the chair when I was hired here. And I think my first quarter here, Norman gave me a teaching schedule that had me teaching Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock to 10:50 in the morning, and 8:10 to 10:10 at night, because we had a pretty robust night program. I was a PhD in English who was lucky to have a job, and so I didn't tell the chair, like, that's not the greatest schedule to have to teach at 10 in the morning and 8 o'clock at night. But Norman was a wonderful, wonderful human. But I remember when the file cabinet was moved to my office when I became the chair, I remember going through different files, and I remember looking in mine, the one that had my name on it, Eisenstein, and there was a piece of paper in there. It had some of the old annual reviews that Norman had convened, or Allison Prindle, who was the chair before me. And there was something related to my hiring, and it was some note from Beth that said something like, hey, there's this file from this guy Eisenstein in the file. We should really like look further at him, you know. And when I had applied for a job, so Beth, I don't know if I ever told you that I saw that piece of paper, but I owe you a great debt of gratitude for noticing something there. And Robert and I, you know, I always have admired Robert. He and I work in a similar field, and we actually once went to a conference and presented work together. And I have just nothing but the deepest admiration and respect for Robert. You need a few people who speak a language similar to you or are interested in similar questions. I can remember Robert coming to my old office to talk, and the office to which I will return shortly. So I'm honored to be honored in the presence of the two of you for sure. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. And thanks again to all three of you. I also want to remind you that we want to celebrate the folks who got tenure and promotion. Please, maybe Colin, we can put that back up and we can celebrate those folks. I know I saw in the chat earlier on a lot of gratitude being sent Diane Nance's way, because news of her impending retirement has just kind of made its way through email. And so I'm glad that Diane is with us today and we can thank her for her service. I know there'll be another opportunity to do that. I want to thank Christy North and Colin Saunders and Catherine Plank for helping put everything together today, and Steve Rossman for putting the videos together. I do appreciate it. I was really distressed at the thought that we would not be able to celebrate these amazing colleagues in person, but I think you've made it an amazing virtual experience, and I thank you for that. Okay, so we are about to move into the breakout rooms, and I need to explain to you how that happens so that you can figure that out. So if you, again, go to the, well, Colin, I might need you to explain this to me because I thought we could see it on the people. If we go to the participants thing, I thought we could see where the rooms are, but I'm not seeing where the rooms are. So I might need Colin or Catherine to jump in, but we've set up some rooms. And usually what you're doing is you're looking for a little door to go in the room and you can see who is in the room. We have a room set up for Paul. We have a room set up for Beth. We have a room set up for Robert. So that if you want to go in and talk to them and congratulate them, you can do that. And then we have some other rooms. We have Roush 114, Towers. I'm not sure exactly how this goes, but we have some other rooms that you can move into and just chat with each other. There's no formal ending time here. We just wanted to provide some time for you to just talk to each other without watching my talking head. You've all had enough of that. So Colin, can you explain how to get to the breakout rooms?
Sure, thanks. Just a quick note here, as we were moving between sort of moderating videos and PowerPoints and things like that, it was not allowing me to build the rooms the way that we wanted to build them. So we are still able to do this, and you will be able to move between groups. So in a moment, I will trigger this breakout group. There are 10 groups. You'll be able to move between groups and enjoy the rest of the celebration for the rest of the day. And if you're finished and you're feeling like you're wanting to leave, you can simply just leave the session. That's where I'll leave it, Wendy.
Okay. Well, once again, we did record this. So Robert, Beth, and Paul, you'll be able to see your video. You'll be able to see the comments from your colleagues in the chat. And we hope that is in some way making up for our inability to do this in person. And we'll try to do something maybe later on in person as well.